Hello and welcome to this HBC Kids Talk. My name is Heather and it's great to be with you this week. So during Lent in our HBC Kids Talks, we are thinking about who Jesus is and how he has called us to live. And this week we are looking at one of Jesus's miracles. But before we do that, I have a 60-second challenge for you. So what I need you to do is I need you to stand, one of you at home in front of the other. The person at the back is going to have their hands open and the person in front has to fall backwards with their hands at their sides into the person behind them who's going to catch them. Will you trust them or not? Each have a turn and see how it feels. Are you ready? Are you steady? Then go! How did you get on? Did you manage to fall backwards into the arms of the person behind you? Did you trust them? Well, we're thinking a little bit about trust today. Last week, we looked at Jesus' baptism and how he calls us to leave our old way of life behind and to start following him. But what next? What does following Jesus even look like? Well, the first thing that we need to learn if we're going to follow Jesus is that we can trust him completely. Trust is pretty important in any relationship. Think about it. In that game that we just played, you had to completely trust the person standing behind you, who is probably a member of your family. If you didn't trust them, then you wouldn't have allowed yourself to fall backwards into their arms because you wouldn't have trusted that they would catch you. So the question is, can we trust Jesus? Can we trust him to actually look after us if we follow him? Well, let's have a look at this story from Mark's Gospel to see. When evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's go over to the other side of the lake." They left the crowd behind and they took him along in a boat, just as he was. There were also other boats with him. And then a wild storm came up. Waves crashed over the boat. It was about to sink. Jesus was in the back, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him up. They said, "Jesus, don't you care if we drown?" He got up and he ordered the wind to stop. He said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." And then the wind died down and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Don't you have any faith at all yet?" They were terrified. They asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Wow! Jesus' disciples were really afraid of that storm. I think maybe we might have been too. They must have been rolling around in that boat. Water might have been pouring in and the wind was whipping up the waves all around them. And there is Jesus having a nap. The disciples assumed that Jesus must not really care about them at all. But they were wrong. Jesus gets up and shouts, "Quiet, be still." And just like that, the storm stopped. And then Jesus challenges friends and asks them, Why were you so afraid? Do they still really not trust him? What Jesus wants us to learn is that we can trust him completely. Not only does he love us more than anything else in the world, enough even to die for us, but he is also incredibly powerful. Even the storm was no match for Jesus. When we decide to follow Jesus, we are in the safest hands that we can possibly be in. So the answer to this question about Jesus, can we really trust him to look after us if we follow him, is yes, absolutely we can.